Hey everybody, Phantom Shadow here, and welcome back to more Root Film. Last time, Yagumo was captured and woke up in Capricious Hall. So, let's figure this out. There's a peculiar, nose-tickling stench in the dark room. An ovular landscape painting hangs on the wall. I don't get it. It'd fetch a pretty penny on an appraisal show, I bet. Mountains and rivers, huh? Thanks to the low stroke count, I can manage to read that. Not that there's any point in it. There's a framed calligraphy that says aspiration. Aspiration. Yushin, or is it Ogo Koro? It read that way in a poem in the Manyoshu, right? Yagumo gives up on staring at the calligraphy and looks down to the mirror underneath. There he sees his oily face. Geez, I look even worse than usual. Though I guess I haven't washed my face in 4 days. Yagumo stares at some framed calligraphy. Looks like it's written in Tensho script. I'm not cultured enough to read it. Looks like ritualistic masks you see from the South Seas or Africa. Just seeing dark rooms like this is enough to freak me out. This room's door is kinda overkill. It's quite thick and sturdy, but he braces himself and opens the door. That moment, a bizarre rotten stench stings his nose. Scattered about on the floor is a thick, dark red liquid. At the moment, Yagumo recalls what Foxmask said. No, any food entering your system will just reek during dissection. Blech. Yagumo holds back the bitter juices welling up from his stomach and slams the door. It's locked shut. Isn't that the elevator? Judging by the sign, Yagumo's current floor is B1, meaning he's underground. I should be able to escape if I can go upstairs with this thing. Keeps on tapping the elevator button, but it doesn't respond. In fact, the numerical display overhead isn't showing anything either. Is it broken? No, that can't be it. That Foxmask bastard had to have used it to move, which means... Huh, this shows up. When Yagumo looks down, he notices something strange. I don't have a reflection? He thought it was a mirror, full mirror, but apparently it's not. When he reaches out, he feels something cold. It's part glass, huh? I thought it was any other mirror reflecting this room, but does that mean it isn't an image but an actual identical room? Checks the glass panel, but it seems firmly set into the wall. Should be a way to get past this. After making up his mind, Yagumo reaches for the landscape painting and pulls on it. Huh. Whoa. The landscape painting opens like a door, revealing a passageway. Does that passage lead to that inner room? What the hell is this building? Yagumo has no way of knowing what sort of building the Capricious Hall is or how it was built. His mouth wide open in surprise at the sudden open passage, Yagumo can only think to himself. The inner room smells even mustier than all the other rooms he's been in. Must have gone untouched for a long time. Needs something to eat, but it doesn't look like I'll find anything here. The rooms are reflected in the glass due to the lighting, but when Yagumo gets close to the glass, he can see the reference room he is just in. I see. So, This is a fake mirror glass from the other side of the room. Yagumo's confused when he tries lifting some of the cardboard boxes on the shelf. That's strange. They're so light. You'd think there's nothing in there. He opens some of the boxes just to be sure, but as he expected, they're empty. Empty boxes lined up so neatly, but why though? In a room full of dust and discoloration, one slightly new-looking cardboard box stands out. That looks new, which means there might be something edible in there. Yagumo grabs the cardboard box off the shelf and opens the top. But contrary to his expectations, all he finds are two dish-shaped metal cans. Wait, what? Film reel cans? Though disappointed, he picks them up. Casually, he looks at the label on the backside, only to gasp in shock. Is this 2010 Shimane Mystery Project Volume 1? That's what's written clearly on the label in permanent marker. No way. He checks the label on the film reel can, only to see it's Volume 2. Are these films from the TV drama project? What are they doing in a place like this? That fraud Yugensai Kumashiro did hint that he knew the truth behind this project. So is it Kumashiro wearing that fast mask after all? I guess I really gotta beat the truth out of him. Yagumo tenderly tucks the film cans into his shirt before standing back up. That's convenient. He didn't notice it before, since it was hidden by the box, but there's a breaker behind the shelf. There's 4 switches, but the only one labeled EV is switched off. I see, so that's it. Do you even realize how many horror games I've played? Pretty much every horror game requires you to activate the elevator to progress. Classic trope. Just gotta switch this on, right? Reaches for the switch labeled EV and turns it on. Yes, it's working. The overhead numerical display shows 3rd floor. Now I'll just ride this thing up and smack the fox bastard upside the head. When he pushes the elevator button, the display decreases. Yagumo watches the numbers. His stomach reminds him he hasn't eaten in days. I got water, but I couldn't find food anywhere. So hungry. Yagumo Part 4, Chapter 4. A few hours earlier, after leaving the detectives, Magari, Hitoa, and Kanade head east from Yonotsu to National Route 9. The number you've called is unavailable, maybe out of service or turned off. No dice, looks like his phone's still off. Maybe Director still thinks he's being chased. In that case, should we go try to find him? Think we should go to the beach after all? The detectives are searching the main places, so I think we should avoid those. I see. In that case, let's try to pick out places the director might go. Studio Yagumo, Inasa Beach, Koto, Gahama, Natsuya Inn. Once they step foot at Inasa Beach, the trio decide to walk around for a while. Director was called out here 3 nights ago, right? Right, his phone GPS was tracked here, so I think it's safe to assume the problem is the email saying to look for 300 Hiroge. Does that mean block 300 in an area called Hiroge? Well, I tried looking, but there aren't any addresses like that. Addresses near the Hiroge ruins and beach are in Izumo. Taisha-cho. Besides, block numbers don't usually go that high. Anyway, I don't know what it's indicating, but I get the feeling he can't be that far. What makes you think that? Based on the emails, the one ordering director around knows he's pursued by the police. So he wouldn't give a risky order that would require him to look far away, would he? That does make sense. So, should we focus on looking around nearby? Yeah, for now, let's drive around places nearby. Thought maybe he'd come back. I guess that's not happening. Well, it's only to be expected. It'd be weird to run away somewhere only to come back. Well, director's pretty weird, you know. Anyway, Hatoa, you didn't object to coming here, so weren't you thinking the same thing? Well, I thought I could see the director doing that. You get it, Hatoa. Well, you know. Would have been so funny if you did come back, but it looks like that's not the case. Yeah, let's try somewhere else, I guess. It's another hot day today. Perfect swimming weather. And thus, even in the morning, lots of people are at Kotogahama Beach. Kanade, how did it go over on your side? Well, I went all the way around over there, but I couldn't find him. In that case, it's too crowded here. Even if the director was here, it'd be hard to spot him. True. Looks like Aine's back too. How'd it go on your side, guys? Megari kicks up the sand and comes back from research on the other side. In her hand is a bottle of ramune that she must have bought somewhere. Is that ramune? I bought it at the stand over there. No, I mean, weren't you supposed to be looking for the director? Now, I got some for you guys too, see? You don't want it? I do want it. Hot here too, you know? Okay then, here you go. The trio walked back to the parking lot, bottles in hand. Once they arrive at Studio Yagumo, Megari unlocks the door and they go inside. Director, you here? You don't need to hide anymore. Come out wherever you are. They open all the doors and call for him, but nobody responds. Guess he didn't come back after all. It's completely the same as how we left it when we went location scouting, so he probably hasn't been back here at all. I see. Well, if he were that easy to find, the police would have found him already. Let's look elsewhere. Okay. They visit Inasa Beach once more. I don't think he went that far from here, but... As they look every which way, they hear a young woman's shrill voice. They hear the word police and turn towards the voice in panic. Hey, come on, Ken. Move the reflector up a bit. You mean like this? No, that's too high. Come on, Kana. Ken's not a police expert. What? He's an investigative detective, so he's always taking crime scene pictures, right? The reflector boards aren't used in crime scenes. Hey, no need to be a stick in the mud. It's my duty to show off Shimane to the readers. I get that, but there's no need to be harsh to a volunteer like that. Ken's the one who volunteered himself. You talk the talk, you should walk the walk. Kana, you're so strict when it comes to work. Hey, to Mommy. Will you model for the web magazine? You will, won't you? Sure, by all means. Huh. Apparently the woman named Kana is getting the other two to help her with her work. Studio Yagumo sighs in relief once they realize it has nothing to do with their director. That was a shock. Guess that guy's a detective, but at least he's not on Yagumo's case. Yeah, but that kind of detective reminds me of Keishino. Yeah, does seem a bit unreliable. Does seem more reliable than Keishino, at least. Studio Yagumo chuckles and leaves Inasa Beach as the other three continue to bicker. Huh. I'm guessing they're from Root Letter. The trio head west again on National Route 431, which passes from Matsue to where Studio Yagumo is, along the north side of Lake Shinji. Eventually, they approach Inasa Beach. Huh? Stop, please stop. What? Hatoa suddenly shouts, causing Kanade to slam the brakes. As soon as the van stops, Hatoa dashes outside the van without a word. Hatoa? After parking the car on the shoulder, Kanade and Megari chase after her. They find Hatoa in front of an oddly made telephone box in an open area by the shoulder. What is this? Looks like a telephone box, but it's kind of freaky. Standing out in the grass is an oddly designed telephone box. As Megari stares at the surreal scene, Hatoa, who has been examining the area, speaks up. I found it. 300 Hiroge. Huh? Really? Megari and Kanade rush up to Hatoa. Just as she said, there's a sticker on the telephone box that says 300 Hiroge. Is that... Hatoa, you saw the sticker from the van? Of course not. But once I saw the telephone box, I just thought, in mysteries, when you want to disguise where a phone call is coming from, you use a telephone box. I see. You got a point. This telephone box is a little weird. Let's see. Yashihokonet. Found it. Megari looks up the name written on the telephone box using her phone. Seems it's not a public phone set up by NTT, but a local telephone network called Yachihoko. A local network telephone. Huh? It's unlike an NTT phone you can call without getting logged, huh? Yeah, it'll leave an access log on the network, but the cops wouldn't think to check this far out. In other words, it's a perfect way for the culprit to contact Director. Exactly. Now that we know they talked here, the problem is what they talked about. We gotta figure that out, or there's not much point in finding the place. If only Director left a sign he's been here. Do you see anything nearby? Like a note or map or something? Yeah, maybe a trail of breadcrumbs. When did this turn into a fairy tale? They try looking around the grass to see if Yagumo left a sign that he's been there. And then... Eep! Shimaneko, what are you doing in a place like this? Did you happen to see the Director here? Seems Shimane Neko did not see him. Shimane Neko takes a bow and goes off somewhere. Disappears out of nowhere, huh? Seems like it. Random pages of the telephone book are torn, perhaps due to the rain coming onto the booth. Judging by the cover, it's not a prefectural telephone book, but more like a limited local one. When you look at it like this, it seems like an ordinary home phone. But it's just surreal to see a normal telephone in the middle of a grassy area. Definitely an amusing sight. I'm sure Director would get a kick out of it. Hatoa casually flips through the phone book until she suddenly murmurs, "There's a torn page here." Torn page? Yeah, it looks new. So maybe Director's the one who tore it. He tore it? That could be one of his bad habits. Bad habits? If my hunch is right, then it could be a sign that Director was here. As Megari explains, she flips through the telephone book. Eventually, she spots a torn page, stops, and looks at it closely from a different angle. What are you doing? Oh, I was just thinking Director wrote on the page and tore it out as he talked to the culprit. He can't take notes on his phone since it's off, and he normally doesn't carry a notepad, so he made do with a paper he could find. Since the Director's an idiot, he presses the pen down way too hard, so... I see. Megari seems to have deciphered the writing indentations on the page underneath the torn page. She reads out each letter Yagumo had written. Awami Capricious Hall. Awami Capricious Hall. That's where Director went? Must be. Geez, this culprit's annoying. I don't know what Capricious Hall is, but Awami probably means the silver mine. Let's go. Okay. Counting on you. The trio run to the van, thinking they finally got a solid lead. Meanwhile, at Capricious Hall. Damn it, still no service? Yagumo grumbles at his phone screen. Yagumo had gone up to the third and highest floor, but his phone somehow still has no service. The windows are blocked too, so how do I get a signal in this building? If only I could get to the roof. I think we know how to get there. The bathroom, huh? Looks pretty fancy. Just the bathroom alone is about as big as my entire beat-up apartment. There's a bas-relief eagle on top of the pillar. Unlike the surrounding walls, the pillar alone has escaped discoloration and is mostly clean. Is that pillar made of different material? Noticing how out of place it is, Yagumo approaches to find some sort of spout at the bottom. What is this? Doesn't look like a water faucet. There seems to be some English-esque writing, but the letters are too faded to read. Yeah, but Yagumo notices a small scrap of paper taped next to it. Some sort of note. Methane, chloride. What does that mean? How long ago exactly has the events of Rio's Chapter 2 been? But it is really cool coming back to like a place and that we've already been, but like, you know, from a previous case. He takes a look around it, and unlike the other rooms, this one's been cleaned properly. I guess this is where that fox bastard lives. In that case, I better make sure we don't bump heads. There are two red plastic containers. The first one is completely empty, but the other is half full with liquid. Kerosene? I don't see a stove or anything. Small piece of paper taped to the container says methane chloride. Methane chloride. The tub did have that note mentioning that, so... Let's bring this to the bathroom later. There's something I want to try. Good. On the shelves are textbooks of various genres like medicine, pharmacy, and chemistry. That bastard reads all this stuff? What a well-educated human being, or fox. There's no real uniformity in genre, as if someone just bought books at random and seemed interested at the time. The walls are covered with seemingly religious pictures, as if to ward off evil spirits. Kinda gross. That fox-masked bastard okay in the head? A closer look, they all depict the same thing. A woman wearing a Su Tang Dynasty-era outfit straddling a giant fox. Is she a Dakini? No, it's not quite the same. The fox faces this way in many pictures. Is that Kanayago? While the pollution of death is taboo for many of Japan's gods, Kanayago loves the dead. The thought of someone wearing a fox mask and living with Kanayago plastered on their walls sends chills down Yagumo's spine. On the desk is a computer that's been left on. Oh yeah, this could be a clue to finding out their true identity. Yagumo starts gleefully playing with the keyboard, only to be greeted with a login password screen. Not even logged in? I guess I'm not seeing what's in here. Yagumo tries typing a password at random, just in case, but of course he fails. Figures. There's 6 photos pinned to the wall. When Yagumo gets closer, he notices there are people of various ages and genders. Family photos? No way. Whoa. He looks closely at each photo, but can't help but gasp in surprise. On the right is a photo of Toru Sakurai, and right next to it is a photo of Yagumo himself. What is this? When was this taken? I've seen this situation in a suspense film. Now that I'm living in it, it feels gross. Okay. Before Yagumo leaves the room, he picks up the containers. Let's try this thing in the bathroom. He heads to the bathroom with the containers in hand. Once inside the bathroom, Yagumo uncaps the spout at the bottom of the pillar and pours the contents inside. 1 minute passes, 2. Doesn't look like anything's happening. Nothing happened, huh? The note looked important, but oh well. Disappointed, Yagumo checks the note once again. There's a fine print that says, "Remember to water the eagle." Water the eagle? I guess they mean the bas relief eagle on top of the pillar. Confused but slightly hopeful, Yagumo twists the faucet and aims the water at the eagle. And waits again. Nothing happened. Did I just fall for a prank? Once that thought crosses his mind, the pillar suddenly moves and topples over. Wow, how does that work? Yagumo looked at the toppled pillar, confused. The next moment he hears a creaking noise. The ceiling opens and down falls an iron ladder. What the hell kind of magic is this? Yagumo stands still in shock as he stares at the sudden showing of steps. But eventually he notices that he can only see the sky and quickly starts climbing. As Megari dozes off in the passenger seat, her phone rings. She wakes up at the sound and puts her phone to her ear, half asleep. Hello, Megari speaking. What? Director? What? Kanada and Hitoa immediately lean in, listen in on the phone call. Director, what have you been doing? You okay? Huh? You're hungry? Shut up. Forget your stomach. Your head's on the line. You're okay, right? Where are you now? Capricious Halt by Okubo Mabu. Mine shaft on the Awami Gazan silver mine. The guy on a fox mask is holding me captive. The Capricious Hall? So that's where you are at after all. We're heading over there. We'll be there soon. Wait, guy on a fox mask? Who the hell's that? I don't know, but in any case, I'm gonna go clobber him right now. Please don't go crazy. You already proved your innocence, so you can just leave the rest to the police. You were able to prove my innocence? Yeah, you see, after you ran away, And that's that. I see. Sorry for the trouble, but you guys did great investigating. Now we can solve the case. Yep. So don't go crazy. Just wait somewhere safe. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. It's fox hunting season. Just wait. Somewhere safe, damn it. He hung up on me, that jerk. Director, you dumbass. Do you ever listen to what other people have to say? In that case, we gotta hurry, Kanade. Mm-hmm. Kanade grips the wheel tight and floors it. Yagumo Part 4, The Solution. After successfully contacting Megari, Yagumo takes the elevator down to the second floor. He stays still and tries to see if anyone's there, but there's no sign of any presence at all. The fact only makes Yagumo's steps more cautious, as he doesn't know when the fox mask will appear. As soon as he enters the room, Yagumo freezes for a second. Something about this room's smell hints that someone's been here, or has been here recently. The fox mask bastard seems to be living here after all. On top of the bed is a worn t-shirt and skinny jeans. Do these belong to him? Seems like one sloppy fellow, not that I'm one to talk about cleanliness. But anyway, I'm not even sure if it's a man or woman judging by these clothes alone. A small window reveals the room deeper inside. Doesn't seem that big of a room, but how do you get in there? He looks around, but can't find anything like a door that leads there. This building doesn't make any sense. After investigating the wall, Yagumo notices a scrap of paper taped next to the window. Press here. Should I press it? Without thinking too hard about it, he puts his hand on the paper and pushes down. The wall revolves, revealing a hidden room. Revolving door? What is this, a hotel for ninjas? What were they thinking when they planned out this building? Yagumo peeks inside, a little shook. There he finds a pile of suspicious items, like handcuffs, rope, and a knife. That fox mask pervert's personal collection, huh? There's even a stun gun? Should probably take care of this. Yagumo picks up the stun gun from the hidden room's floor and puts it in his pocket. Checks the paper taped to the wall again. All that's written is the familiar press here. Right, the writing resembles the methane chloride written in the bathroom. Don't tell me there's a hidden revolving door. It'd take a crazy, rich eccentric to build a room like that. Yagumo enters a room that appears to be a wide hall. Its indescribable smell stings his nose, like the smell of fish lingering in a dry cold due to the high setting on the air conditioning. Whoa. When Yagumo identifies the source of the stench, he lets out a gut-wrenching groan. In the middle of the hall is an altar. Surrounding that altar are the half-mummified corpses of men and women hanging from the walls. That bastard. Does this come as a surprise to Yagumo? What? Without Yagumo even realizing it, the man in a fox mask appears behind him. Yagumo's feet stagger from fatigue, hunger, and horror at what he's seeing. Did you do all this? What a foolish question, and what other answer could there be? You see, so you're seriously crazy. Crazy, don't be ridiculous. I'm no more than a pious priest. Priest? Yeah, all these corpses are my sacrifices to Kanayago. As Kanayago bestowed great iron to her disciples in exchange for enshrining a corpse, she grants me great inspiration in exchange for my sacrifices. I get the feeling this wacko read the unfinished story. That said, in order to preserve these bodies, I must keep the room cold and dry with the AC. The only thing crazy here is the monthly utility bill. Bastard, who gives a damn about your utility bill? Do you know what you've done? First things first, I'm gonna beat your face in. As soon as Yagumo braces himself to lunge at him, the fox mask pulls out a white gun out of his pocket. Whoa there, if you lunge at me, you'll leave me no choice but to use this. What? A 3D printed gun. You know about them, right? They're lacking in power and accuracy, but I'm sure I won't miss at this range. Good to see you're not crazy. I can see the future. I'm reading your every move. So you're really Yugensai Kumashiro, huh? Yeah, I warned you that dust surrounds you, that people around you will disappear. Did you get a good look at the corpses behind you? Did you notice your school buddy, Yugo Tomine? What? Yagumo turns around in a panic and looks at the lineup. Shuei Sayama from the archive is here too. Toru Sakurai was burned by hellfire thanks to you. Even Sayama? They might be a little bit hard to recognize at first since they're mummies, I suppose. Everything has gone according to my clairvoyance. Do you believe in my power now? Fox, got your tongue? Be not ashamed. All who encounter great power come to realize their own powerlessness. That powerlessness on your face suits you. Now wear it to your death. The fox mask slowly approaches, perhaps to reach a distance sure to hit. But before he makes it all the way, Yagumo's lips move slightly. Who gives a damn? Who gives a damn about that power of yours? Whoa, we're doing this now? You think you're some kind of winner just because you're a murderous bastard? Good grief, you still don't understand my power? You must burn with hellfire before you understand? Nah, I understand. I understand that you're a fraud and a crook. Hellfire? Don't make me laugh. That little incident at Tatsunome Shrine was just a sham you and Toru Sakurai teamed up to pull off. Toru Sakurai wanted to fake his death, so you put on a show, not a tragedy, but a farce. I figured out all your half-baked tricks. Hell, I'm fired up. How about I explain in detail how Sakurai escaped the scene alive? I bet if I told you, you'd blush and say, you got me, how embarrassing. Interesting. Sakurai's death was a fake, you say? Did his intact hand and spilt blood not prove his death? Please, you're still going on about that? During the incident, only troop members escaped out the back. Sakurai got his left hand amputated before the incident. During the incident, only troop members escaped. Oh, well, there's only two. You just left the hand he got amputated beforehand and poured the blood he extracted over the course of 2 months, didn't you? The police have long since confirmed those details with the very doctor you performed those tests. Meaning he had everything prepared beforehand. It's true that Sakurai was shot. You saw it happen right next to you, didn't you? He was shot, huh? In that case. Shiraishi brought the candies used for Abisu. Shiraishi happily looked for apartments for 2. Many tourists tested positive for gunshot residue. Shiraishi bought the candies used for Abisu. The gunshots heard later were firecrackers disguised as candies thrown during Abisu. Hina Shiraishi swapped them at Sakurai's request, meaning that the gunshot that hit Sakurai could have been another firecracker, though he probably prepared that one beforehand instead of using one of the Abisu candies. Sound analysis of the incident footage revealed that the gunshot rang out from under his lap. In other words, when the time was right, he crushed firecrackers between his knees. How's that? Hit the nail on the head, didn't I? Nice imagination, but if what you say is true, then his death by gunshot wound itself was a lie. But if he wasn't shot after all, how did his body burn up without him moving away from the heat? Or are you saying he was fine burning to death without even attempting to move? That trick's already been blown wide open ages ago, after all. The smoke was more intense than usual, the crutch left, with reception disappeared. Light Napathia was found at the crime scene. Probably this. Light Napathia was found at the crime scene around the fake body. The stuff burns around 30 to 80 degrees Celsius. All you need is a thick cloth to protect against it. I used it myself for several shots. Cheap little trick in the film industry. Imagine what you want, but what about the truth? I don't know if forensics found, but I can guarantee you that was my hellfire. How could your cool flame burn tatami mats and reduce a body to ashes? Or are you implying that light Napathia fire can burn tatami mats without a human body even feeling the heat? Well, Yugensai said Tora would be burned by hellfire. During the chaos, Minagishi ran with a trash can. Sakurai's tatami mat was a different color. Simple. That night the tatami mat was already burned to begin with. My excellent, or rather, my okay assistant noticed something from the footage. Before the incident, during the performance, and after the performance, Sakurai's tatami mat was a different color from the rest. So you prepared a burned tatami mat beforehand and left it burned side down. Then, during the chaos, you flipped it burned side up. Afterward, you doused someone's prepared ashes with Sakurai's stored blood, thus creating the unnatural burnt corpse. Then what about the pulse? Yagumo, you checked his pulse yourself. A missing pulse can be easily faked with latex skin covering the neck. No. You knew I was well versed in the mystery genre, so you predicted that I checked the more accurate carotid pulse over the easily faked radial pulse. And if someone else were to check his pulse, that he was wearing a long thick gloves, naturally leading them to check the carotid pulse instead. In other words, all you needed was a fake skin around the neck and simple psychological priming. You're too smart for your own good. Your obsession over stupid details only made it more obvious and easy to figure out. Stupid? Did you just say stupid? Frustrated that I called out your tricks when you spend so much time working on them? Sounds like you've lost quite a bit of your cool. Yagumo, you damn bastard. If you're frustrated, then why don't you howl like you are? No need to take the mask off, though. I already know what face is hiding underneath. You what? Say, Foxy, your little game this time? What with that fake skin and light Napathia? It's got an awful lot of standard film industry tricks. Strange, isn't it? You know, I got decisive photographic evidence if you want. Photographic evidence? That's impossible. Yes, wait, it's possible. Let me show you. Yagumo takes out his phone and shows a picture to Foxmask. It's a shot from right after the incident, when everyone ran from the shrine fire. There is something in the shot that conclusively identifies you as the culprit. Here is the decisive evidence. That's the final piece of the puzzle. How did Tora Sakurai disappear from the scene after faking his death? Even if he disguised himself as Kagura actor, his limping leg would only give him away. Also, the actors all took their masks by then. Any unfamiliar face would be caught instantly. So then, how did he escape? Look at this, Orochi's snake body storage bag. He hid in here as he was carried away. It's a thick canvas bag over a meter long, big enough for a person to curl up and hide in. You hid Sakurai in this bag and carried him when nobody was looking. No, that's not. You passed it off as a funny story. In confusion, you saved an empty snake body bag from the fire. But look, that bag seems pretty heavy to me. Doesn't it, Yugo? When Yagumo deals the final blow, the mysterious figure hurls the Fox Max to the ground, revealing the face of the man Yagumo knows well, Yugo Tomine. Max, you knew? Yeah, that's why I almost bust a gut laughing when you said you were one of the bodies hanging there. Don't know where you learned his name, but you said Sayama's there too. That's a lie though, isn't it? Tomine grits his teeth and gives Yagumo a look that could kill. Yagumo just looks at him with pity and suddenly switches it to a quiet tone of voice. Tell me, why'd you do something crazy like this? What happened to you? We were friends, weren't we? Why'd you try to deceive me like that? Friends? You think we were friends? Or not? Like hell we are. It's all your fault. All my fault? Yeah. If I had won at the Asian Film Convention, I would have had my industry debut. The distributors already gave me those conditions. I had a script, and yet you left me in the dust and took the prize for yourself. Of all times you could have gotten ahead. Why then? You were always beneath me in school. Yugo, you. My life went to hell after that. Couldn't think of a single thing to film. So I borrowed the power of Kanayago to regain my inspiration. Open your eyes, Yugo. That's no way to regain inspiration. Yes, it is. And you're the finishing touch. If I just sacrifice you, I can regain my place as a film director once again. Seriously? Tomine restrains his gun straight at Yagumo. And then, to make sure he doesn't miss, Tomine takes one step, then another, tightens his grip on the trigger the moment he tries to fire the bullet. Tomine! The voice rings out loud enough to shake both Tomine and Yagumo alike. Misawa lunges and tackles Tomine, knocking him to the wall. Keishino rushes in, right behind, handcuffing the toppled-over Tomine. Misawa, Keishino, yo, that was a close one. Safe at last, Yagumo's shoulders droop powerlessly, as he lets out a huge sigh. Good thing we made it in time. You okay? Thought I was a goner, but looks like stalling for time was worth it. Good to hear. Your friends are here too. They were a big help. You should be proud of them. Huh? Yagumo looks behind Misawa to see Magari, Hatoa, and Kanade rushing into the hall. Director! Oh, Magari, Hatoa, Kanade. Yagumo welcomes the trio with arms wide open. They rush over to him, all smiles, and then... You dumbass! Megari's fist landed a clean hit on Yagumo's face, with tremendous speed and weight. She hits stronger than her slender body suggests, enough to make Yagumo stumble a few steps. Dumbass director, the hell are you doing running around in danger's way all by yourself? Do you realize how worried everyone was? Why didn't you even say a word to us? You made a mess for the cops, Director Abuse, and Hashima. You're an adult. Think before you act. Director, are you even listening? He's completely exhausted. You did kind of punch him when he was weak from being confined for who knows how long. Oh, I see. Should we call an ambulance? Probably. Yagumo Part 4 Epilogue. And thus today, I, Rintaro Yagumo, have been safely discharged from the hospital. I'm so sorry about the mess I made this time. At the famous Izumo Soba Kizuki, a banquet is held to celebrate Yagumo's discharge and to thank everyone who helped. Attending are his usual staff with the addition of Abuse and Manami. Well, I'm just glad you're okay. Indeed, you cleared your name and soon the project will continue as well. Seriously, I don't know how to thank you two for your help this time. And it looks like you put in a good word for me with Isagami too. You don't have to worry about it, Yagumo. Besides, Isagami was elated when he knew the truth, since it meant he'd make the news again. That's true. I'm sure he'll use the incident as another publicity stunt. Touched by his kind words, Yagumo can only bow his head. By the way, Director, Sayama wasn't among the corpses found there after all, huh? I knew it was a bluff. On the other hand, it seems Toru Sakurai's body was indeed hung there. So, he let him escape only to try and kill him in the end? Yeah, he wanted to pin it on me, but it seems he sought those desperate to disappear and lurked them to his home, where he killed them in the name of sacrifice. Those poor things. Apparently the other bodies were all people with multiple debts, undocumented laborers, and other exploitable weaknesses. That's so cruel. He was a nice guy at school, but just when lost in the race for awards, he turned out like that. Someone who's had nothing but setbacks, it's not something I can understand. When the table has fallen into an awkward silence, Hatoa changes the subject. Anyway, Director, how does your body feel? You didn't wake up for a whole day after you collapsed. I was so worried. I'm fine, thanks. After an IV drip and some rest, I'm good as new. I was just low blood sugar due to light dehydration, hunger, and fatigue. In fact, it's a wonder why I even collapsed there. Maybe the adrenaline rush just died out as soon as the detectives came to my rescue. You don't remember what happened? Feels some sort of impact, but my memory around it is kind of vague. Oh, that was... Megari interrupts Kanade with a loud voice. Oh, it must be because you hit your head when you collapsed. It was like bonk. Is that so? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was shocked when you suddenly collapsed without any warning whatsoever. Right, Hatoa? Kanade? Was that how it happened? Mm-hmm. I see. Well, you three were a big help this time. I really appreciate it. Don't mention it, Director. We all believed your innocence. Mm-hmm. Yeah, besides, I need you around, or it's gonna be a problem for me, Director. Megari, guys, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so blessed to have such a good staff. I know, right? Now come on. Megari smiles and holds out her hand to Yagumo. What's with the hand? What do you mean? Come on, you know what it means. Don't play dumb. Seriously, what does it mean? Come on, my bonus. Without my bonus, I can't pay for my car inspection fee. Right, your bonus. You did mention that before. Yeah, I did. Jeez, you can be so forgetful sometimes. Sorry. Huh? With all the location scouting expenses piling up, and the restaurant reservation, I used it up. What? So instead, eat up all the Izumo soba you want. What? But my bonus. I don't get it? Nope. Ah, no. Megari's cries echo throughout the restaurant, and everyone watches with a smile. Alright. And that's the end of Case 4. That one was really good. Not only, continuing from the third case, but, applying the location from Rio Part 2. I kind of wonder just how much time has passed between that case and this one. Alright, we'll be continuing on to case 5 next time. So thanks for watching and see you all then. Bye.